Well, here we are, finally getting a game on at Kings Lynn after a third time of asking. And I think, speaking personally, given the nature of what happened on Saturday, it felt quite a nervy game. Did it feel like to yourself?
Yeah, I think, we're frustrated. We've not found a way to win the game. I think once we figured out probably how we needed to play on this particular pitch against this particular opposition, I thought we grew into the game in the first half. We had a good spell going into half time. It was a game of moments, really. First half they had a couple. Like I said, we grew into the game and had two or three good moments at the end of the first half, and should have done better with a couple of them. We got in behind them two or three times and were a bit tentative with our final pass, our final action, our shot, our header at the end of it. But yeah, we come in 0-0 and it was about, right, let's regroup, let's figure out how we're going to play. It was very much a pitch that we had to cut out short passes into midfield a lot of the time because they were going to press us, and the pitch is a difficult one, to play on in that way. So we very much had to kind of bypass the midfield, either by going direct into his chest and playing off, so we could get runners beyond, or getting the ball wide and getting down the sides of them. And like I said, I thought we had a 15-20 minute spell at the start of the second half where we completely dominated in terms of that, dominated in terms of chances. We've had 3 or 4 massive chances that we need to take one of those, and it's a different day. And it had 1-0 written all over it, really. As you're watching the second half develop, you're just waiting for that one goal to go in, and I didn't really see us conceding tonight, which is credit to the back four and Rossi as well in the midfield in front. So yeah, massive frustration that we haven't taken one of those chances. We have been pretty clinical this season a lot of the time. We've scored a good volume of goals, so we've come up that little bit short in terms of that tonight, which is frustrating, because I think we probably did enough to win the game.
I mean, as you say, the clean sheet and the back four, there weren't too many threats, were there, at all? We handled any attacks pretty well.
We did, and listen, they're a team that's fighting for their life. They need wins, they need wins, and I think they played like that. They left 3 players pretty much high up the pitch the whole time. They left a lad in the number 10 that wasn't interested in getting back and defending. So when we attacked, if the ball got turned over, they always had 4 up there, and it became difficult sometimes. I don't think the wingers quite understood in terms of how far back they should be. We got pinned in a bit too deep at times, and especially in the first half when we adapted that at half time. Like I said, I thought we were much better. And no, Rossi's had not a lot to do. I think we've cleared one off the line, and a few oohs and ahs from the home crowd, and a few things that bounce around in the box that you never quite know where it's going to drop at times. But no, I thought we defended on the whole much better, and that's a positive. But listen, we want to win games of football. I think probably 10-15 minutes to go, we looked a little bit like a team that wasn't used to winning, and we got a bit sloppy, we got a bit frantic trying to move the ball, but we've certainly created enough here to win the game comfortably, in my opinion. And the set piece delivery was really poor as well. We must have had between 15 and 20 corners across the night and didn't get first contacts. They were floated in, they weren't put in with any sort of purpose, they were overhit or underhit, and that's an area we need to do better on, and we'll certainly be needing to work on that next week, because again, in a game like this where it's 0-0, set piece might win you the game, and we weren't good enough for that either tonight. But yeah, massive frustration. I said to the players, don't ever accept not winning, but in the cold light of day, probably tomorrow morning you can look at it and say, like you say, clean sheet, it's a point in the right direction, and we go on to Saturday now.
But yeah, as you say, the frustration, I mean, gilt-edged chances really at the beginning of the second half, weren't there, for several players, and it just didn't go, did it? No,
it's a night. I've watched a lot of Kings Lynn games in the last couple of days, and very much follow this pattern. They're very tight games, especially here. They're won or lost by 1 goal, and the teams that find a way to score and take their opportunities will come out with a result. And like you say, I can remember in, he cut inside, he did everything right, and it hits the wrong side of the post and goes away. Tyreek's gone through one-on-one, and you'd back him to score there. We had several other bits around there where the keeper's made a couple of good saves and we've not got on the rebound, and even in the first half, like I said, a couple of bits in the box that we've just got to be a bit more clinical, and that's the only criticism tonight, to be honest. I'm okay with the performance. Was it pretty to watch? Probably not at times, but I think we've got to understand where we're coming and who we're up against, and the circumstances and the conditions of the pitch. So I was okay with that, but I'm not okay with not winning. We need to take one of those chances, and we're going back on the bus very, very happy. And as it is, it's a point away from home, but there's a massive sense of frustration in the group, which is a good thing. Hopefully that will stand us in good stead going forward, that they are that frustrated.
But as you say, in the cold light of day, it's another point on the board. It's a step forward. It's maybe a building block, and a number of players coming back in to contention, I imagine, for the weekend.
Yeah, there is, and like you say, it's a point forward. We have to follow up with a win. We're here to win. We need to get a winning feeling back around the club, around the group. I was desperate for the fans to put a win for them tonight, because I think psychologically everyone needs that at the club at the minute, and the quicker we can get that win, the better. I think for everyone, for the players, for the staff, for the supporters. You want that feel-good factor back. So we need to win Saturday. We're desperate to win Saturday. The boys are even talking about that in there. Let's take this point and let's move on to Saturday. And like you said, one or two back in. Obviously, Incy, Jack Roll's suspensions are over now, so they'll come back into play. Louis Annesley picked up a knock on Saturday, ruled him out for tonight, but hopefully he'll be back and available for selection. And Kretschmar's obviously got more minutes tonight. You don't want to take him off in a game like this, because he can pop out of a big goal, but he could not go past what he went past today. We probably pushed him 5 minutes further than what was recommended from the medical staff as well, because we've got to be really careful with him in terms of getting him back from the hamstring injury. So it's slow steps with him, but that will stand him in good stead as well moving forward, and he'll be better for the minutes he's got in his legs tonight as well.
So I can tell you're disappointed, I can tell the players are disappointed, but it's onward to Saturday, home against Maidenhead, I think, isn't it? Is it Maidenhead on Saturday? And so looking for a win, as you say then, but thanks Ian for your time. Safe journey home.
Cheers, Nico. Thanks.